Hi, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. Well, I'm Jane and I live in Walguat in Brittany in northwest France. And I run frugalqueeninfrance.com, and that's where I share all my hints and tips about living a thrifty and frugal life, not just here in France, but you can take those hints and tips and you can use them no matter where you live. And I was having a kind of online discussion with readers the other day, and it got me thinking that many people just don't do what I do. So I thought I'm going to share with you today my 10 top tips for saving money at the supermarket. I'm going to set the scene. I do one supermarket shop. I go to one shop for my household once a week. It works for me, it saves me money, and here is what I do. So I'm going to start by telling you what I do. So my 10 top tips. Here is the first one, and I always do this. I stock check and do an inventory of what I have. I make sure I know exactly what I've got, and after I know exactly what I've got, I make my written inventory. I know what I have in my freezer, my fridge freezer, obviously my fridge and my pantry cupboard. So that's first, do an inventory. And because I've got an inventory, I'm not just going to buy things because I go shopping and that's what I always buy. So I do an inventory and I make sure I don't buy what I don't need. And that also means if I don't need to do any grocery shopping, any food shopping that week, or any shopping at all, I don't go. So last week I didn't set foot in a supermarket. I did not go at all. So there we go. So I do a stock check and I make sure I don't buy what I don't need, and I make sure if I don't need anything, I don't go shopping at all. Secondly, my second thing is, and I would advise this to anybody, absolutely anybody who wants to save money, is set a budget. We live here in northwest France and our budget is for all our grocery shopping, all our food, dog food, toiletries, cosmetics, cleaning materials, anything we need is €300 a month or €75 a week. And there's only two of us and two little dogs the size of handbags, so it's perfectly enough. In fact, it's probably more than enough. Frugal people watching to be going, well, that's not as frugal as me. Well, that's kind of where I am in the frugal scale of things. I'm maybe somewhere in the middle. So that's the second thing I do. I always set a budget, and I don't go over that per month. Some weeks might be a bit more, some weeks might be a bit less, but that's my budget for the month. So where are we? 1 and 2. 1, I've got an inventory. I know what I've got. Don't buy it if I don't need it. Number 2, I have a budget. Number 3 is I have a meal plan. I've done this for years and years and years. And it can be more complicated than you want it to be. But I often find there's hints and tips and ways of making that meal plan work for you. There may be things that you absolutely love. You know, some people, for example, have a meatless Monday. They might have a pasta Tuesday. They might have a slow cooker Sunday. They might have a takeaway weekend meal. Just something in their week that has a rhythm and a pattern to it to make it easy for their planning. Another thing that might make it easier for your planning, you might have absolute favourites that you come back to. For example, like I said, a pasta Tuesday. You might think, well, I would love a bit of pasta somewhere in the week. So where are we up to? Let's recap that again. Number 1, stock take an inventory. Number 2, make sure that you have set yourself a budget. And number 3, when you've got your inventory and your budget, you make sure you've got some kind of meal plan. Let's go on to the next one with that meal plan part of it. We're not chefs in this household, so it doesn't have to be fussy. On that meal plan, often in our meal plan, we have an on toast. We have an on toast meal. It is perfectly okay, so somewhere in the week, for us to have beans on toast with a bit of grated cheese on top. That'll do. It's just within my meal plan. So that's up to 3. on my savings for the supermarket. So number 4 is absolutely essential, and I just think to myself, I can't imagine not doing this anymore. And that's never ever go to the supermarket without a list. Even though I have forgotten it a few times, and I have had to phone my husband up and say, look, my list is in the kitchen, could you just take a photograph of it and pop it over in Messenger for me? I'm going around the supermarket with on my phone. I'm only human. So yeah, take a list. And the other thing to remember, as you're going around that supermarket and there's special offer this and buy one get one free of that, and would you like to buy this, what the supermarket's doing is not trying to save you money, they're trying to get you to spend money. So here's my best advice, and I stick to this, even if I have to go around going, don't look, don't look, don't look, pretty flowers, don't look, absolutely don't look. If it's not on the list, it's not going in. It wasn't on your plan, was it? If what is on your plan and on your list is on offer, boom! If it's not, even if it looks like a special offer, just remember, they're not trying to save you money, they're trying to get money out of you. Don't give in. Make sure if it's not on the list, it's not going in. Stick to that. It'll save you money. I promise you, it'll save you money. The next thing that I get up to is batch cooking. Now, batch cooking sometimes for me is cook once, eat twice. So something I might eat 2 days in a row. So I might cook, for example, a casserole, roast potatoes and some vegetables, and there's just the 2 of us. But I'll cook that meal for 4. And I'll plate up 2 meals and we'll eat it that night. But 2 more meals, and I can get those plastic domes that go on it for reheating. I think I bought mine originally in Poundland. I saw them here in IKEA, in the cheapy section in IKEA. They weren't very much money. But you pop the domes on them, and we call it ding cuisine in our house. What we have for dinner, ding cuisine. It just makes it easy for me. Cook once, eat twice. So another part of batch cooking that I often do is I cook 2 of something. I make cottage pie. I make 2. We have 1 for dinner, 1 goes in the freezer. Make a lasagna, freeze a lasagna. Some days I'm absolutely at the top of my game and I fill that freezer up. I might make, some casseroles. I might make some stews. I might make some dinners, and into the freezer they go. And another part of that batch cooking to make your life easier is make a great big pot full of whatever you're making in your slow cooker. Really does make it easier for you in your slow cooker, because you can just make it, go to bed, get up in the morning and it's done. Alternatively, you can just make it, go to work, come back and it's done. And then what you don't eat, you freeze, and you have got ding cuisine for another day. Just makes it easier for yourself. So there we are, we're up to 5 now, aren't we? I'm going to keep recapping here. So we're number 1, stock check, make an inventory. Number 2, set a budget. Number 3, have a 3 meal plan. Number 4, shop with the list of what you need, and if it's not on the list, it's not going in. Number 5, batch cook. It does make your life so much easier, doesn't it? Now, number 6, if you have children, and I'm a crusty old lady now, but I did have children, little children once, and I remember they asked me out of house and home. And I really, when the children were small, really had a very tight budget. Back in the day, for the 2 of us and 2 children, I had like everything, school meals, school trips, everything, £30 a week. It was so tight. So I had to have stuff to keep those little tummies filled. And the things that are really good that you can make at the weekend, and then put in a biscuit tin or put in a Tupperware box or an old margarine pot. Things like flapjacks, jam tarts, cheese straws. Buying things that are cheap, like popcorn that you can pop for them to eat, especially at the weekend if they're out playing and they just want to come in and have a snack. Boiled eggs, those type of things. So make sure you budget and plan for those snacks if you've got children. Another thing I would say about children and budgeting and food is you're in charge. You're the mummy, you're the daddy, you're in charge. If you're going around the supermarket and they're wanting this and wanting that, that magical word of no, no, you can't have it. It's not on mummy's list. It's not in mummy's budget. No. You don't apologise. No, sorry, you can't have it. It's just no. It's not on the list. It's not going in. So that's up to number 6. Making sure, number 6. I'm just checking everything here. Number 6, that you have budgeted for those snacks. We don't budget for snacks because we're grown-ups. We're not little, and we're oldies. And we're not only oldies, we're chubby oldies. So we double don't need to be eating snacks. Now the other thing is I'm up to number 7 now, and talking of snacks and eating in between meals. We really like the way the French eat. We've been coming to France now for 15 years, and things really haven't changed. You don't see people walking around with a big sippy cup of coffee. You don't see people walking around eating takeaways or eating in the street. Even most French people would find that quite vulgar, and they don't do it. They eat 3 meals a day. And we've really got into that habit now. We eat our breakfast, we eat lunch, and we eat dinner. So we eat 3 meals a day. It will save you so much money if you get into that mindset that I eat proper foods at proper times, and if you plan for those meals as well and eat properly, you won't probably want to eat at any other times. So we don't do the picking in front of the TV thing either. We only eat at the table, either in the kitchen or at the dining table, that we've taken the time to eat. And it's important for us. It's good for us. It's the way we live. It's a suggestion, not an instruction. Remember that. It's a suggestion, not an instruction. So we're up to number 8 now. Number 8. Leftovers for lunch. I always make a little bit more when I cook. So there is leftovers for lunch, a little bit more for lunch. And whereas I'd have a plate full of food for ding cuisine, I might usually for my lunch, if I'm going to do it, have usually just a little sort of cereal bowl of amount of food for my lunch, because I only eat a small amount of lunch because I've got to keep working throughout the day. So a small lunch. So it's those leftovers for lunch, intentional leftovers, planning leftovers for lunch. So it just does make it easier for me. What am I going to have for lunch? What I had for dinner last night, and what I had for dinner last night, I'll have for dinner this evening as well. I'm okay with that. Don't forget, it's a suggestion, not an instruction. Saves me a fortune. Leftovers for lunch. And I'm going up to my number 9 now, on breakfasts. We keep breakfast simple and the same. I think I've eaten cereals of some sort and toast every day for 55 years, and yep, I'm still here. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I'm not a big eater in the morning. I'm not one of those people who wants to be eating or cook breakfast or anything special. And for me, it's usually a piece of gluten-free toast, a piece of bread, a piece of toast for breakfast, or a bowl of cornflakes, or a bowl of cereals. And that's it. That's me done until lunchtime. I don't need anything else until then. So simple and the same. That's my big tip for breakfasts. Now, I'm going to go on to now my number 10. And this is a big generic one, really. And that word generic is important. I have no supermarket loyalty. I have no brand loyalty. I have been drinking supermarket tea and supermarket coffee and supermarket orange squash for as long as I can remember. And I'm okay with it. I'm not a brand snob. All my toiletries and cleaning products are just either from Netto or Lidl. I don't really shop anywhere else. I don't buy brands. So don't be brand loyal. Don't be supermarket loyal. And buy generic. And when you're in the supermarket as well, and you're buying your generic brands, and you're buying your supermarket own brands, look at that unit price. And if something is on offer, so for example, it says on my list, shampoo. And normally I would buy shampoo in Lidl, and I'd buy their own brand. But alongside it, there is a brand on offer. Because don't forget, it just says shampoo on my list. And I would just go and look at the unit price. Now, sometimes the one that's on offer will be cheaper. But I'm not buying it just because it's on offer. I'm buying it because shampoo is on my list. So, let's recap. My 10 top tips for saving you money at the supermarket. Number 1, stock check. Get your inventory. Don't buy what you don't need. And make sure you don't go shopping at all if you don't need to. Number 2, set a budget. Set a budget. Now, like I said, I'm probably in the middle of frugality. I'm far more frugal than some people. I'm not as frugal as others. I think I'm probably in the middle. But your budget is your budget. Set your budget. Number 3, have a meal plan for breakfast, lunch and dinner every day. And if you've got children or you're a snacker yourself, plan and budget for those too. It will save you money, I do promise you. So within that meal plan, remember, make it simple for yourself. If you like to have a fake away Friday, slow cooker Sunday and meatless Monday, make it easy for you. Make it work for you. We're not chefs. We just want to eat decent, wholesome, affordable food. Number 4, shop with a list. Remember, when you're in that shop, it's not a special offer. They're not trying to save you money. They are trying to get more money out of you. So remember, this one is very important. If it's not on the list, it's not going in. Number 5, batch cook. Batch cook. It will save you money. It'll save you money for just running the oven to start with. Cook once, eat twice. Maybe eat the same thing tomorrow that you eat today. Make 2 of whatever you make. If you're feeling up to it and you have a day a month, so every about a day in a month, I get really energetic and I do lots of cooking for the freezer. But batch cooks, number 5. Number 6, make your own snacks. Make your own snacks, especially if you've got children. Those bags of crisps and sweeties and things, they're very high in sugar to start with. And, you know, as a mum, I used to be very conscious that I wanted my children not to be hungry, but I didn't want them to eat junk. That was an important thing. So making those things like jam tarts, flapjacks, little cakes, guys, they're only little people, popcorn, cheese straws. So number 6, make your own snacks. Number 7, be like the French. Eat at meal times. Don't eat in between meals. It's pretty good for you. It's a good way to think. And don't forget, I keep saying this to you, you know, it's not an instruction. It's what I do, and it saves me money. Eat at meal times and not other times. Number 8, leftovers for lunch. If you've got leftovers, that is. If you have leftovers, eat them for lunch. Take them to work with you. Reheat them at home. Number 9, go for simple, same breakfasts. If that works for you, you do not have to do gourmet. We do not have to do foodie breakfasts. Breakfast is breakfast, isn't it? And number 10, go generic. Do not be brand loyal. Do not be brand loyal. But do not, you know, have a go. I'm not brand loyal. Don't forget, these are suggestions, not instructions. It's just what saves me money. The suggestions, not instructions. Don't be brand loyal. Don't be supermarket loyal. Look for you and what works for you and where you want to get your bargains from. Thank you very much. It saves me a fortune. It means that I can live off a really decent budget for us. I can keep us clean, smelling nice. I even buy my makeup at Lidl. And it saves me a fortune. So thank you very, very much. You'll find lots of other hints and tips and money saving ideas at frugalqueeninfrance.com. You'll find lots more of my videos here on YouTube. And if you like what you see, please subscribe and come back, because I post a new video every single week. Thank you very much. It's been lovely to spend this time with you. Thank you and goodbye.